This is the Valley Today.
We begin with breaking news this morning out of Afghanistan. Over 900 people have been killed. 600 others are injured after an earthquake hit the country's eastern side. Officials say the magnitude 6 tremor that hit the province of Patika. Helicopter relief efforts are now underway to help those impacted. New this morning, one person has suffered serious injuries after being involved in a car crash near Williston last night. It happened around 9:30, according to the Highway Patrol. A 20-year-old in an SUV was driving along a street and went into the intersection with Highway 2, but didn't yield. Officials say that SUV ended up hitting 2 people in a pickup, causing the pickup to roll and hit the ditch. A 43-year-old man from Rapid City, South Dakota, was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Charges are now pending against the driver of that SUV. North Dakota is getting 5,700 COVID vaccine doses for young children between 6 months and 5 years old. An estimated 50,000 North Dakota children are eligible to receive the vaccine. Healthcare providers are in the process of educating staff and updating protocols, so most providers will start vaccinating children later this week or early next week. However, health officials hope to vaccinate about 10% of the newly eligible children in this first week. 6:01 now on this Wednesday morning. Let's get a check of your forecast out there. And nice, bright, sunshiny morning, Lisa.
Yes, it's gorgeous out there. We've got a nice start. It's quiet. We have beautiful blue skies and sun now, and temperatures that are more comfortable outside. Here's a look at our numbers. We're in the 50s in most areas, but some places that saw that sun come up early, well, we're looking at some temperatures approaching the 60-degree mark. It's 57 in Fargo, Grand Forks, 54 degrees. It's 57 as well in Jamestown. Devils Lake checking in at 60. And here's our radar and satellite map. I've expanded it out to the tri-state area, and it still doesn't show anything. We've got some quiet weather around the region, and this is likely to continue through the day today. So let's take a look at our forecast. It's going to be a keeper here. We're looking at some numbers in the 60s by mid-morning, and then by midday into lunch hour, we're into the 70s, a great lunch break temperature there. And then, goodness, this is not right. We should be into the 80s coming up for this afternoon. I know we've had some heat recently, but not that kind of heat in the forecast, even if it's felt like it's 150 degrees. Focus more on this 84 for your high for today. We're looking at plenty of sun and wind that is going to be on the light side coming up here. Now, speaking of feeling like we're over 100, here it is. Heat index potential this morning, today, still comfortable for your Wednesday, but we need to plan ahead for Thursday and Friday again. Temperatures more into the 90s, but heat index values, again, that's more what it feels like, how muggy it is out there, and the impacts that it has on you is greater the higher we have that humidity, and that will be a factor for us for Thursday and Friday. So we'll have to be heat aware and use our precautions yet again. With that heat, with that humidity comes the chance for some storms as well. I know some folks want more rain, but maybe not quite with the severe potential here. So we're going to talk about the magnitude of that and timing of any storms coming up in a couple of minutes. So some pleasant conditions today, and yes, we may feel like we're at 100 coming up here in the forecast, but not quite to 150.
Yeah, we don't want to get to that, but it'll be nice today to not have that wind. I feel like over the last several days, it has just been incredibly windy out there.
Yeah, yesterday was great to get that break from the heat, but yes, the wind was still a problem. Today's one of those days where we've got, I would call it a perfect summer day because we've got a good amount of sun. It's warm, but not too hot, and that wind isn't blowing you away if you're going to be out and about. So yeah, really great day to enjoy, especially because it's only one day. We've got those changes coming up.
Enjoy it while we have it. Lisa, thank you this morning. It is now 6:04. We all experienced some strong winds and stormy weather earlier this week. One home in Detroit Lakes was hit hard, and it now doesn't have a roof. It happened on Monday night. Donovan Fletcher and Kelly Lofstrom were preparing for the storm to pass through Detroit Lakes. Lofstrom says her 15-month-old daughter was asleep in the bedroom when the roof of their home came off. But she says the storm was not finished then. The damage was only just beginning.
Our bedroom has no roof on or ceiling. Our bathroom has a spot with no roof or ceiling, and then our daughter's room, the ceiling is almost completely gone and more is about to cave in.
A GoFundMe has been set up to help the family get a new mobile home. You can find the link on our website, valleynewslive.com. And strong winds blew the roofs off of Ottertail, Minnesota businesses on Monday night as well. They're specifically the Carr's Tree Service and the Otter Lodge. Officials say at the Otter Lodge, guests in 10 of the rooms had to be evacuated in the middle of the night due to that damage. However, they say no one was hurt. Refunds were then handed out to all of the people impacted.
You know, it's scary for everyone in this area. You know, it feels like it's every other week we're having some sort of traumatic weather experience.
As for the cleanup, all across of Lakes Country, Carr's Tree Service says the job likely won't be done until the end of the summer due to the sheer volume of properties impacted. A power outage left thousands of people without power once again. Cass County Electric Cooperative reported more than 5,400 customers in West Fargo lost their power yesterday due to a failed piece of equipment at a substation. That's the third major power outage in that area in just as many days. Meanwhile, operators of the electric grid in Moorhead now say there is an elevated risk of outages in that area due to above average temperatures. They say these shortages will likely be there for the summer, but there are a few things you can do. You can turn your thermostat up a few degrees, keep your blinds shut to keep your house cool, and shut off all unnecessary lights and equipment, and delay appliance usage until later in the evening. In the event of an emergency situation, a grid manager will initiate a controlled outage to maintain the stability of the electrical grid. After more than 10 hours in executive session, the Fargo School Board decided to stick with their decision to fire Kevin Kennedy for cause. The school district received a complaint in March claiming that Kevin Kennedy had crossed boundaries with students and created an uncomfortable learning environment. The board was in executive session for several hours, and they unanimously agreed on the decision to discharge him. We asked one of the board members why it took so long, but they couldn't comment because they say it was all discussed in that executive session. The South Dakota Senate has now convicted Attorney General Jason Ravensborg in an impeachment trial after he was involved in a 2020 car crash in which he killed a pedestrian. Ravensborg told a 911 dispatcher that he might have hit a deer or another large animal, and he said that he didn't know he hit a man until he returned to the scene the next day. 55-year-old Joseph Baver died in that crash. Criminal investigators say they didn't believe some of Ravensborg's statements about the incident. The convictions have immediate removal from office. He is also barred from holding any future office as well. For summer travel this year, if you're planning a flying out of Hector International Airport in Fargo, you'll want to get to that airport even earlier. Airport officials say you should get there at least 2 hours before your departure because of delays in security. The delays are stemming from new 3D scanners being installed. Installation is scheduled for July 5th through the 22nd, but the delays are already starting as the existing checkpoint is being moved to make room for contractors. And summer vacation season is well underway, but before you leave town, it's important to prepare your home for that vacation vacancy. The Valley Today's JC Dodd joins us live this morning with things you can do to keep your home safe and secure while you're gone.
Yes, that's right, Jordan. We're all ready to hit the road and enjoy some well-deserved time off from school or work, but leaving your home empty is like an open invitation to burglars. Last week, we told you about an uptick in home burglaries in South Fargo. Police Chief David Zabolski says the suspects are getting into the homes through windows and sliding glass doors. So I want to break down some ideas to keep your property safe while you're away on vacation. First, you'll want to make it look like you're still living there. Stop your mail and package deliveries or ask a neighbor or a friend to pick them up for you. Put an indoor light on a timer so it looks like there's still some activity in your home. Also, you'll want to install a motion-activated outdoor floodlight. Lock check all your windows and doors. Chief Zabolski advises putting a 2x4 in your sliding glass door to make it harder to break in. Now, thieves are known to cut wires to security systems to avoid getting caught, so it's a great idea to have those cameras on a battery backup just in case. Now, another added precaution, if you live in West Fargo, the police department offers Vacation House Watch program. You can sign up and an officer will be assigned to monitor your property for any suspicious activity. That'll give you some peace of mind while you're away. So we've covered all the safety aspects when you head out of town, but I also want to walk through fires, how to prevent a fire while you're away and save on your electric bill as well. That'll come up on the Fast Track to 7.
A lot of things to go over this morning, JC. Thank you. It is now 6:09. We are waking up to some nice mild temps. Humidity is much lower. It'd be a pleasant morning to have that coffee out on the deck if you can. Lisa Green has your midweek forecast with when more heat is expected to move in.